So the Fraternal Order of Police is speaking right now. They've been very critical of State's Attorney Mosby. Let's go straight to that live.
Apparent rush to judgment, given the fact the investigation into this matter has not been concluded. Our officers, like every other American citizen, are entitled to due process. We will continue to support them throughout this judicial process, which we believe will result in a finding of innocence. We also promise all active duty officers that we will continue to work diligently to ensure that you will receive the necessary support from the FOP to enable you to complete your mission safely. At this time, I will turn it over to our attorney, Mike Davey.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Davey. I'm an attorney representing Baltimore City Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 3. My firm has been retained to represent Lieutenant Rice, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of all of the officers and their legal representation. In my 20 years career as a law enforcement officer and 16 years as an attorney, I have never seen such a hurried rush to file criminal charges, which I believe are driven by forces which are separate and apart from the application of law and the facts of this case as we know them. No one condones police misconduct. This is especially true of the entire FOP membership, including my client, who is a 17-year veteran of this department, who has dedicated his life to serving the public. Let me state in no uncertain terms that Lieutenant Rice and all of the officers involved at all times acted reasonably and in accordance with their training as Baltimore police officers. No officer injured Mr. Gray, caused harm to Mr. Gray, and they are truly saddened by his death. These officers did nothing wrong. As all of the facts surrounding this case come out in the appropriate forum, the officers' lack of wrongdoing will be made abundantly clear. We believe that the actions taken today by the state's attorney are an egregious rush to judgment, and we have grave concerns about the fairness and integrity of the prosecution of our officers. Let me reiterate two things. Lieutenant Rice and all of the officers are deeply affected by Mr. Gray's passing, and that his injuries did not occur as a result of any action or inaction on the part of these officers. It is our intention to try this case in the courtroom and not the media. These statements have been made in an effort to protect all of the officers from undue prejudicial effect of publicity surrounding this case. We believe that these officers will be vindicated as they have done nothing wrong. At this time, I turn it over to Lieutenant Kenneth Butler. He's president of the Vanguard Justice Society.
Good afternoon. My name is Kenneth Butler. I'm a lieutenant with Baltimore City Police. As a member of the Baltimore City Police Department for 29 years, I should begin by saying that we are extremely frustrated and shocked by the circumstances that have transpired today. As Baltimore police officers, we are not at odds with the community. Let me repeat that. We are not at odds with the community. In fact, we are sworn to protect the community and those who are protesting against the 6 officers involved in this case. Our organization has supported these officers since the beginning of this difficult situation, and we will continue to do so. Thank you.
At this time, we'll take very limited questions.
Mr. Ryan, you called for a special prosecutor this morning. Is that moved, or are you still hoping that the state's attorney will appoint a special prosecutor?
We're still hoping that that is reviewed by an independent prosecutor.
What kind of conflicts do you see, Mr. Gene Ryan, that you outlined in your letter between Mosby and the attorney involved in the case?
I already made my statement, and the statement speaks for itself. I have no further comments on that.
You talked about conflicts. You keep telling
I have no further comments on that. I already put a statement out.
When you say that the officers did nothing wrong, the agency, and if they followed their training, the agency said like they should have buckled him in. Are you saying that was not a failure of training and policy?
I'm saying there very well may be a failure in the policy, and the facts will come out as we move forward.
Mr. Davey, there's a report that was just tweeted out. According to Baltimore Police Department sources, they tell a reporter with Fox News that officers are, quote, pissed that say the medical examiner switched the ruling on Gray's death from accidental to homicide after quote-unquote meeting. Do you believe that?
I have no information about that. I have no knowledge of that. We have yet to see a preliminary autopsy report. We've never seen the final autopsy report. We have not interviewed or spoken to anyone involved at the medical examiner's office, so I can't even comment on something like that.
So
The Baltimore Police Commissioner said he did an exhaustive investigation and really it's ongoing. What elements are not complete in your mind?
Until we see what they've done, I can't answer that. I can't speculate as to what they did or didn't do. I just find it very difficult that it's not a rush to judgment when conducting a case in which someone who's been charged with second-degree murder, they can wrap it up in 2 weeks. That's all I can say.
Who's responsible for Mr. Gray's death?
Until I see the investigative file, until we get the discovery in this case, I can't answer that question.
President Ryan, can you speak to the mood of the officers? There's been reports that officers, the morale is very low. There's criticism of the mayor. Can you speak to the mood of the officers and how they're doing the crime fight?
Like I said, I'm sure they're disappointed. I haven't been out and talked with them yet to see exactly what the mood is. Without a doubt, I can tell you they're not happy. I mean, this is going to, this decision to charge them officers is going to make our job even harder. I can say that.
Mr. Davey, this morning, the state's attorney said that the knife that was found on Freddie Gray was legal. It wasn't spring action. It wasn't a switchblade. You said, quote, a week ago, had he not had a knife or an illegal weapon on him, he would have been released after the proper paperwork was done. Have you seen this knife? Are you certain that this was an illegal knife?
I have not seen the knife, and that determination will be made by a judge or a jury when we get that far, as to whether there was probable cause to make that arrest.
So that statement was premature?
I don't believe it was premature. It was based on information that I knew then and I know now.
Have the officers been forthcoming with information? Because we just learned about this additional stop on Thursday.
The officers have been forthcoming and cooperated in this investigation. That's all I can say about that at this point.
Can you tell us the officers' races and address this?
No, for their own safety, I will not do that.
And what about this belief on the part of the protesters that race played a big part in this?
I'm not going to get caught up into the politics. That's what's getting us, I believe, here today.
Do you believe that it's politically motivated that the medical examiner found that this was homicide? Do you think he has political motivation?
I cannot even think about commenting on that, nor would I.
So what's the political motivation here?
I'm sorry?
What then is the political motivation?
I believe that the publicity in this case is driving force to a rush to judgment and causing this prosecution to move so quickly. That's it. Thank you very much.
And you were just hearing from FOP union leaders holding a news conference in light of their 6 officers now being charged in the death of Freddie Gray. The FOP president saying he is disappointed in this rush to judgment. He says that his officers are entitled to due process and he believes that they will be found innocent. Now, Michael Davey is an attorney. He's the union attorney. He is representing Lieutenant Rice, a 17-year veteran of the Baltimore City Police Force. He says he is confident that his client will be found innocent. Davey saying he has never seen a hurried rush to file criminal charges like this. A lot of criticism of the 2-week timeline. Again, the union saying that their officers did nothing wrong.